Whoa, the production value on this is insane. The synchronization is perfect. Just perfect. Okay, their vocals are top tier. I'm getting chills. These guys are incredible. Is this a new K-pop group I haven't heard of? Hold on, I'm reading the comments. Wait a second. They're not Korean? They're from the Philippines? What you just saw was a moment, replayed hundreds of times across the internet. It was the moment a corner of the world first encountered a sound so polished and a performance so powerful, it was instantly embraced. It fit a mold the global music scene understood: high-level choreography, stellar vocals, and world-class production. For some audiences, the immediate assumption was K-pop. But what they didn't know was that the group they were praising was about to shatter that mold. This wasn't just another pop group. This was the opening act for a new wave in global music. This is the story of how the world supported SB19 because they were good, and how finding out they were Filipino changed the conversation. To understand the impact of SB19's arrival, you have to remember what the global pop scene looked like in the late 2010s. It was a world dominated by two unshakable titans: American pop and the cultural juggernaut of K-pop. These were the established sounds, the accepted standards of quality. If a group looked, sounded, and performed with a certain level of precision, the automatic assumption for many was that they belonged to one of those two camps. Then, a video began to circulate. It wasn't a multi-million-dollar music video. It was a simple, raw dance practice filmed in a stark, mirrored room. The song was "Go Up," and it was a lightning strike. The choreography was intricate and perfectly synchronized. The energy was palpable, even through a screen. Reaction channels, dance communities, and casual music fans started picking it up. The comments all echoed the same sentiment. Who are these guys? The comparison to K-pop was understandable. The five members, Pablo, Josh, Stell, Ken, and Justin, moved with a discipline that spoke of intense, systematic training. This wasn't a group of guys who just decided to form a band. This was the product of a grueling professional system. And for a time, that was the narrative for many new fans. Here was a promising new group, trained under a Korean entertainment company in the Philippines, poised to be the next big thing. While many viewers knew from the start that they were Filipino, this initial wave of international discovery was often based purely on merit. Audiences didn't support them because they were Filipino. They supported them because they were good, incredibly good. They saw world-class performers and embraced them, slotting them into the only category they knew for that level of quality. That transition from admiration to shock often happened in the comment sections and descriptions of YouTube videos. As new fans dug deeper, a single fact began to ripple through the burgeoning international fan base. SB19 was not a K-pop group. They were a Filipino pop group. And for so many, this was a genuine shock. Let's be honest for a moment. Why was this so surprising? Before SB19, what was the global perception of mainstream Filipino music? For many international listeners, it simply wasn't on the radar. While the Philippines was known for its powerhouse vocalists and deep love of music, its own pop industry, or OPM, was largely seen as a domestic affair. There was a subconscious bias, an unspoken assumption in the global music market that a group with the precision and aesthetic of SB19 had to come from an established pop hub like Seoul or Los Angeles. The discovery that they were from the Philippines forced a reevaluation. It was the moment where people had to ask themselves, why did I automatically assume they were Korean? The answer was a bit uncomfortable, but simple, because, in the minds of many, the Philippines wasn't supposed to produce a group like this. This moment of revelation became a core part of the SB19 discovery experience. You can see it in hundreds of reaction videos. First, the reactor is blown away by the performance. Then, they pause, read a comment, and their eyes widen. Wait a minute. They're P-pop? Pinoy pop? From the Philippines? The surprise is almost always followed by a moment of recalibration, and then a newfound respect. The realization that this incredible talent was homegrown in the Philippines, outside the established global pop machinery, made their achievements seem even more monumental. The shock wasn't rejection, it was a point of deeper engagement. It transformed them from just another skilled group into a phenomenon. They were no longer just performers, they were trailblazers. The polished group the world was now discovering was forged in years of struggle and near failure. Their story isn't one of overnight success. It's a testament to pure, unyielding persistence. Before they were the kings of P-pop, they were 5 trainees who nearly gave up. The members were recruited by SB19 Philippines, a subsidiary of a Korean company, with the goal of creating a pop group in the Philippines. The training was as brutal as any idol boot camp, with daily sessions covering vocals, dance, and more. In October 2018, they officially debuted with a ballad called Tila Luha. It was met with near total silence. For about a year, they struggled to gain any traction in their own country. By 2019, they were at a breaking point. Facing financial hardship and seeing no clear future, they were on the verge of disbanding. They decided to pour everything they had left into one more song. That song was Go Up. Think about that pressure. Go Up wasn't just another single. It was what they described as their last shot. They didn't have a big budget, so they did what they knew best. They performed. They filmed a dance practice video, a raw, unfiltered showcase of their talent. And on September 2, 2019, a fan's post of that video went viral on Twitter and Facebook. People were stunned by the synchronization and the story behind it. That viral moment, born from the brink of failure, saved the group and finally gave them the breakthrough they had worked so hard for. This backstory is the heart of the SB19 narrative. It reframes their success from being the product of a slick machine to a victory won through sheer grit. When fans learned that the polished group they admired had almost quit, it added a profound emotional weight to their journey. They weren't just artists, they were survivors. With the world's attention finally captured, SB19 chose a more difficult and ultimately more rewarding path. They chose to define what P-pop could be. They began to deliberately and consciously infuse their Filipino identity into every fiber of their art. Take their 2021 EP, Pagsibol. The title itself means germination in Tagalog, a nod to their journey. The lead single, What?, is a powerful anthem about resilience that marked their move toward creative independence. Then came Mapa, a song that became a cultural touchstone. The title is a portmanteau of Mama and Papa, and the song is a beautiful tribute to parents, a universal theme expressed with a distinctly Filipino heart. Their artistry became a vehicle for cultural ambassadorship. The 2023 hit Gento is a prime example. The title is a play on the Filipino word ganito, meaning like this, which they turned into a global TikTok viral sensation. They established their own company, Oneseed Entertainment, in 2023 to have more creative freedom, with Pablo taking a lead role in songwriting and production, and Justin in visual direction. They were no longer just performing songs. They were crafting a narrative showing the world that Filipino wasn't a limitation, but a source of unique strength. They were demonstrating in real time that a group could be unapologetically Pinoy and still command a global stage. This journey of self-discovery and artistic evolution is what makes this story so compelling. And it's a journey that resonates differently with everyone. For the 18 who have been here since the beginning, what was the moment you knew SB19 was truly different? And for those of you just discovering them, what surprised you the most about their story? Let me know in the comments below. The initial buzz didn't just stay in comment sections, it translated into tangible, record-breaking global success. The world didn't just accept SB19's Filipino identity, it celebrated it by catapulting them onto some of the world's biggest stages. In 2021, they achieved a milestone that was previously unthinkable for a Filipino group. They were nominated for Top Social Artist at the Billboard Music Awards, the first Southeast Asian act ever to receive that honor. This placed them alongside global superstars like BTS and Blackpink, signaling their arrival at the highest level. Their song Bazinga later topped the Billboard Hot Trending Songs chart, holding the #1 spot for a record-breaking 7 weeks. The accolades continued. They won awards at the MYX Music Awards and consistently at the Wish 107.5 Music Awards in the Philippines. In 2023, they took home the Best Artist Award for a Singer at the Asia Artist Awards. By 2024, they were winning awards like Favorite Asian Act at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards and received the Voices of Asia Award from Billboard Korea, celebrating their contribution to P-pop. Their success translated to live performances around the globe, with sold-out shows on their Pagtatag world tour across North America and Asia. They weren't just gaining fans, they were building an empire, proving that a P-pop group could not only compete, but thrive on the international stage. Perhaps SB19's most significant achievement isn't just their own success, but the doors they have kicked open for others. Their journey has created a breakthrough blueprint for an entire industry. As early as 2020, a top executive at Philippine media giant ABS-CBN credited SB19 for trailblazing and paving the way for any aspiring Pinoy group. They proved that a path to international success existed, and now, a new generation of artists is following in their footsteps. The rise of P-pop in the 2020s has been undeniable, with SB19 as its undisputed pioneers. Their success has fostered a thriving ecosystem where other groups like BINI, BGYO, and Alamat are also gaining international recognition. It's no longer a question of if a Filipino group can make it, but who will be next. The P-pop industry is now seen as a space of innovation, where artists are proudly championing Filipino narratives in their work. The pioneers are now becoming mentors. With their own agency, 1Z Entertainment, SB19 has stated their goal is to apply the hard-won lessons from their own journey to help a new generation, creating an improved version of the system that created them. The global music industry is taking notice. P-pop is no longer a niche curiosity. It's a genre with proven global appeal and commercial power, with a critical window to cement its status as a lasting global force. So we return to where we started, that moment of discovery. A group so talented, some mistook them for something the world already knew. But the story of SB19 is the story of what happened after. That was corrected. The world fell in love with a sound, and when they discovered its source was a place they never expected, they didn't turn away. They leaned in closer. SB19 proved that the grueling training and high-level performance, once largely associated with K-pop, could be redefined in the Philippines. They took a formula, mastered it, and then rewrote it with their own cultural signature. They didn't just break into the global music scene, they forced it to expand its definition of what a global pop act could be. Their journey from the brink of disbandment to the top of the Billboard charts is more than just an underdog story. It's a declaration. It declares that world-class talent is universal, that authenticity is a strength, and that an entire industry can be lifted by the persistence of 5 individuals. The world may have supported SB19 before knowing they were Filipino, but it is because they are Filipino that they have truly changed the game. The question is no longer where the next global sound will come from. SB19 has already answered it. It can come from anywhere.